You know what is strange? The people who are so systematic and are willing to do anything to hurt people who are not systematic. And they claim it's my job, it's my position, and this is how I feed my family. We have long made a life out of exploiting ourselves and others under the premise of a career and a job that destroys and earth others, and we justify it. But being a psychologist, I have understood that we cannot deny the emotional and mental scars. So imagine when we partake in mass trauma. And for those who are systematic and will partake in this mass trauma and will survive it on the side of the system, what use will they be to themselves or others? What good will they be? Everyone who dates a soldier knows this. Soldier being your wife or your husband. You know what I'm talking about. I've dated a couple, hallelujah. I know about that stuff that goes on in their head. And how they wake up in the middle of the night, depending on where they've been deployed, or what series of armed conflicts they've faced, how much people they have ratted out, how much people they have literally set up to be killed and murdered, all covered up in the media scape, the media landscape of, systematic heroes, the real patriots. And the truth is, they're earthing inside. And they promise dream the land of opportunities that they're supposedly fighting for. A lot of them, when they return home, can't even own a piece of the land that they've been fighting for. Hallelujah. So therefore, we know the game of shuttle, and we know the game of goat and sheep. I am perfect. My choices made me not make choices. My beliefs made me not make choices. My understanding, my knowledge made me not make choices. I could have advanced me in many ways. And some people will not be me. Hallelujah. And I've accepted that. And I've accepted that being here in the mountains is an isolated life for a lot of people, one that they do not envisage themselves living. But for me, I've grown this way. So that I'm not dissuaded by it, neither am I broken by it. So, to avoid the systematic trap and the people who will randomly and automatically sell you out, because if you do not belong in her, then come out of her. Be in the world but not of the world. So don't be a part of her. Don't be a part of that system where you know for a fact the guy next to you in the next cubicle or two cubicles down would gladly dispose of your body for a promotion. Hallelujah. So don't kid around. Don't kid around. So if it's that close, and sometimes in the family and the communal space, it's in the space of those people who call themselves authority because they've been given a weapon and dressed in a particular clothing, right? We call it a uniform, some identifiable clothing, and it's given all these special gears to gouge and to earth and to basically neutralize another person who's, I would know from most times, isn't really a threat to them in no circumstances, right? A threat is when somebody literally comes at you and attacks you and try to hurt you within the reality and the space that you are, and they face that less. So most times they are carrying out the dictates of the vanguards of the system, right? Hallelujah. That's what they're doing. That's why they're responding. That's why they shoot to kill in certain neighborhoods. And that's why things are the way it is. And that's why a lot of martyrs are going to happen of the faith, whether we want to accept it or not. So if you really want to just coalesce into it, then you're going to die without any valor and any merit, and you won't inherit any part, hallelujah, of the kingdom if you take the chip. And if you take unto yourself those beliefs and become them, well, naturally, if you don't think there's a heaven, you're going to see the reward of that lifestyle in the denigration when they use you to mop up some mess and then use somebody else to mop up the mess that you are. So we must be wise and we must be very, very careful of how we deal with one another, because remember, there are people out there that are not like us and they'll never be. Be careful of the information you open up to them and the things you speak to them about, because naturally they're not like you, they're not thinking like you. Be very wise and be very careful and be very prudent, yeah, to look out for those systematic thinkers who would gladly destroy your life. Yeah, they're self-haters, and trust me, getting rid of you advances their position. So it's like a promotion, yeah, one to take to the dark masters. In this world, when kings revere stupidity, people go to great lengths to honor their king. It's so rare a king that honors merit, that respects merit. And so very few of us in this day and age, hallelujah, will go for meritorious, meritocracy living. You have to be decent. Yeah? So much of us are indecent. And it's mixed in. Brother Roman always says, we didn't grow up in a vacuum, so don't think that I'm speaking it's like, oh, I'm so pure. Obviously, I grew up in a messed up system and I have parts of that same messed up mentality. And so, hallelujah, I fight myself, or I fight the mentality. Love myself. I fight the mentality. It's not narcissistic to even go there. You need to love yourself. Yeah, to fight the mentality to hate, and, to destroy and to do certain things mindlessly without thinking. I had to get a mentality out of myself too. And I absorb it and inherit it from living in this reality, in this world, in my culture, and the greater global culture around me. So, we should be wise and prudent in these times, my brothers and my sisters. Until next time, this is a little bit of Outtake Jamaica, the great owl. Just, something came across my mind, I thought I'd share.